Ladies and gentlemen, hailing from Cleveland, Ohio, I give you BVO.
Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weaving and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know, shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know, every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO, bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know, I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show, this is BVO.
On behalf of BVO Boxing TV, we would like to thank our sponsor, Raycon. Don't forget to grab your Raycon everyday earbuds, the perfect bass model for premium sound, with active noise cancellation to block out distractions and transparency mode to keep you aware of your surroundings. They're ideal for your everyday needs. Just visit rayconglobal.com. That's rayconglobal.com and elevate your listening experience.
You got B3 Picks here at it again. Proud to announce a brand new partnership with BVO Sports TV and B3BoxingPicks.com. Let's go green. At B3BoxingPicks.com, we provide pre-fight boxing picks of the week, but also live boxing betting options so we can make money pre-fight or during the fight betting on the beautiful sport of boxing. Join now, only $10 a week or $25 a month by visiting B3BoxingPicks.com for the membership. Also follow me on all socials at B3 Boxing Picks. Follow my YouTube, Not Another Boxing channel, presented by B3 Picks. And shout out to the People's Network, the one and only Sports Talk Network. Let's go green.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy, BVO Sports TV, coming to you live and direct from God's favorite city. You already know, Cleveland, Ohio, man. Today we got a big show. One of the shows, it's a little different. We're gonna try something a little different today. You know, it's not much to talk about. I mean, we could talk about, Shakur Sanchez, or we could talk about Lil Red. We could talk about those guys, but we'll do that for tomorrow. But today we're gonna talk about something that kind of hit me a little bit, and kind of, when you think about it, it's something that I think is kind of being missed. Um, there was a song that was made, I want to say in 2008, I believe, which is about 16 years ago or so. And the song was, for me, well, it's actually more than that now, but for me, it was, I don't know, man. Sorry, 2008. For me, it's one of them songs that was so inspiring. It had a lot of people excited, had a lot of people looking forward to the future. And that was My President by Jeezy. And the reason that song was such a big song, in my opinion, was because that was probably the first time you really seen people who had never been a part of the voting process actually spend their time and energy to push the voting process together. We found out through that there are some huge numbers that can be tapped into if we have the right leader or we have the right person. Um, Obama had historic votes in both. Not nearly as many in the second as he did on the first, but he had a lot of first time voters. And I just tell you this, it's kind of disappointing to kind of figure out after all this time that after his presidency, historic, nonetheless, I really feel like there has just been nothing good for the community from that. You're dealing with so many different things that affect the community. Now you got gender wars, which is a new thing. You got people feeling displaced. And I kind of feel like this. It just has done nothing but make it worse than it already was. Salute to my man Thomas, salute to my man Free. And I just think, when I think about it, it's just so upsetting, because I remember that feeling of hope, that feeling of change, and seeing my grandmother, God rest her soul. She was so excited. I had my aunts and uncles; they were so excited when he became president, and to see what happened after the presidency and really not see much of anything, for me it was kind of shocking. I just uh I just don't understand, what happened, because he bought so much promise, and you know what, when it all came down to the get down, folks really never got anything. Hold on one second. I sent the wait, hold on one second. It's one of those things where for me, I just could say I never was so disappointed in something happening. And I was just, you know what? I'll just say this, man. I was so disappointed in how things went afterwards, because I was um looking for something great to happen, and it didn't. And salute to my man B3. We call him B Money. Salute to my man manager Calvin, aka Prize. But
Man,
I
get
just
out of
remember
here.
the excitement. I just remember the excitement of Obama running. One of my favorite moments, because I'm a historian about life. I remember seeing Jesse Jackson crying when they named Obama president elect, and I just remember the excitement. I remember voting. That was the first time I was able to vote. I was 18 years old. I was able to vote, and I look at it now as a 35-year-old man and say, "Dang, we really dropped the ball on that whole thing." Um, and for me, I'll say this. I feel like if you guys have ever read a book, one of my favorite books is Community of Chaos, Where Do You Go From Here? And Dr. King speaks about how he felt like he led us into a burning house. And one of the reasons that the brother said that is because there has been no power exchange. There's been nothing. I feel like our community is worse than ever. You got heterosexual men under attack at every moment. You see young guys trying to fight to be fathers. You see the ultimate dysfunction between the man and woman. It's just one of those things where if you are just somebody watching, you would say, "Man, what the heck did Obama do? Did he defer our hope? Did he just give us a false sense of hope?" But what you got for me, B3 and Free and Pride? What y'all got for me? You hear me?
Yeah.
Salute to the guys. Yeah, we heard you, BBL. Salute to the guys. I mean, I'm gonna defer to Free and Prize on this one, man. But shout out. I just want to say shout out to Sports Talk
No,
Network,
no, no. You're
YouTube
not doing
Network.
that. Oh, you're not doing that, punk. You're gonna talk. Go ahead.
Well, me and BBO, we chopped it up a little bit earlier. And he kind of pointed out to me, he reminded me I was 15 when Obama, when he first won, and then I was able to vote for him the second term. And I think, a lot of us, it was definitely a joyous occasion. I think it was good to see a black face, a black man, to be in the Oval Office and to represent the country. And 100%, I think as a people, I think we would have liked to have more progress, during the 8 years. I think we've had some regression since then, socially. Some people advance economically, some don't, but at the end of the day, I feel like it's always easy to point the finger and have revisionist history, right? But when we're in a different time now. So back then, people was loving Obama, things was good, and now we have Trump in office, and things are looking a little leery based on some of his decision making. So I don't want to point the finger. All I'm gonna say is that being the president is a hard it's a tall task, and I think Trump is being seen as doing some things personally he's gaining, but what we wanted from Obama is to galvanize and
pull us forward as a people, socially and economically. And unfortunately, that didn't happen.
Well, let me just add this, and I want to ask you this question. Then we're gonna go to everybody else. But when you speak of that, I think the thing that I'm trying to kind of convey, I don't know if I'm doing a good job at it, but you kind of seen when you seen Kamala when she was running, they seem to run for the 1%. How many heterosexual men did you see in that campaign with Kamala? How many men did you see that were raising families? I think the whole party thing has been hijacked because for some reason they act as if you're not living an alternative lifestyle, and if you're pro family, that something's wrong, or almost as if you don't love the country, or if you don't love God. And I could just say, speaking back to what we were talking about, I think the thing I'm trying to let my brother B3 kind of look at is that you had an opportunity to really change things. Maybe not everything that you wanted, but I think President Trump has shown us that a lot of the stuff that the Democrats were telling us is all BS because he pretty much got more done in what 6 months for the people that he so-called was fighting for than we seen Obama do in 8 years. When we seen Obama release the most bombs by any president in a calendar year, we seen Obama deport 3 million people, which I agree with. We seen Obama, you know, that they say he dropped more bombs in 1 month than any president in history. I mean, and on top of that, you had a constant war machine that was roaring, and you never seen Obama say, you know what, let me do something for the people who voted for me. And Trump has done that. And I feel like with Obama, it's just like it was with Joe Biden. You get 2% change. But go ahead, B3. My bad. I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, you didn't interrupt. I mean, you bringing up, kind of situations that Obama was kind of permeating in or living through. I can't, you know, pretty much judge his decision making based on the information that he had at the time. Now maybe he did need to make some rash decisions
B3,
or
we're not
harsh
gonna do this.
decisions.
I'm gonna call it out. We're not gonna do this. We're not gonna play the completely correct role. Either we gonna talk or we not. We're not gonna do this. We're not gonna do this
Well, the
bourgeois.
man tried to pass it, and you forced him into this.
No, no. Ain't about what you talking about, Pride. We trying to have a real conversation. B3 know what I'm talking about. We not doing the bourgeois Negro conversation. You can go somewhere else.
Yeah,
Doghouse. We talk for real.
I ain't gonna touch this one because y'all they might not like me, so I ain't gonna touch this one.
What you got for me, B3?
Well, this is what I got for you to kind of
Hey,
close
hey,
out
can I
my
get a
point.
mic check real quick? Can I get a mic
Oh,
check?
You
right.
good,
So,
Dub?
Good,
You're good,
Salute
Bright
to the
Side,
family,
Mr.
Y'all can
Dub.
hear me?
Respectful.
Salute to Marcus.
oh,
Salute to
yeah.
everybody in the
All
chat.
right.
I do it for the children. You can take the children and bounce them on their knees. Bounce them on the knee and then sing a melody. The Varnell man. Did you he's my
shout out the right side. But go ahead, B3. My
Hold on, mic check one more time, one last time.
You
You're
still
good,
good?
Bright Side.
Uh,
We hear you, Mr. Long-Winded.
well, shit, I did. Well, first off,
Whoa,
BBO,
whoa,
hold
curse
on.
word.
Nah,
Whoa.
I'm gonna say this. BBO sent me to shout out to my brother the scholar. BBO done put
Yeah,
the wrong damn link out here.
oh,
So I
Yeah.
get
yeah,
over there. I'm trying to ask a question. They talking about where your mic low. So I gotta make sure I'm in order. That's it. That's all
hey,
I'm
yeah. I
trying
was
to
on
do.
Scholar Channel too, Dub.
Yeah, that was wild.
They had B Norman on there. They was cooking though.
Yeah, I heard B Norman.
Norman. But go ahead, y'all.
Yeah, this is y'all, and just to everybody and the people that's gonna watch this and listen. BVO found out I'm younger than him. He found out my age today, so this is him giving me a noogie. You know what I'm saying? As my big brother, but he really want me to touch on the important points in life, and we really as a community and as a people, we really did expect a lot out of the Obama administration. But I'm not going to judge him or in this time for a past season. Now, did we want more? I mean, he gave health care. He definitely he gave BVO a phone that he's still using. So Obama did do some good things. Um, we just it's yet to be seen and determine what Trump is going to do. It looked like Trump is looking to enrich himself more so than the people and the masses. So I think
You out of
Obama
order.
did. Hey, I think Obama did a lot of good things with his hands being tied. And we know what that comes with in America.
Well said, B3.
Well, let me respond to that. Let me respond to that. The first
I was
thing
there
is,
first, but go ahead.
well, go ahead, Marky. Go ahead. I apologize.
Oh, okay. Well, salute to everybody in the building. My take, I do agree. I do think, especially me as a young black boy, I had a lot of expectations of Obama. Um, Now I still view his presidency itself because BVO, the title of the video you asked, was it symbolic? I will say yes, it was hugely symbolic because that represented a milestone for our people in the political process. Because you think about Fred Hampton being unalived, you think about Martin Luther King being unalived, all those great black heroes, Malcolm X being unalived back in the 60s, because J. Edgar Hoover and the FBI, they had a mandate against a black messiah and people rallying around him. So Barack Obama being elected to the presidency in 2007, that was a big deal. And then further on, even though I do agree we did not advance too much socially or economically under his presidency, he still had a lasting legacy. Gay marriage was legalized under his presidency. That did something for a group of people. He brought us out of Bush's recession. With the help of his stimulus care package. You talked about the bombs being dropped. I mean, that's a war he inherited, and he pulled us out of Iraq. So he ended one of those wars, and also he
He
killed,
didn't. Joe
excuse me,
Biden did.
unalived
Tell facts over
Osama
here.
bin
No, he
Laden.
didn't.
Hold on. Did you say Obama pulled us out of Iraq?
Yes, he did.
No, he's no, he didn't. Joe Biden did. Joe
No,
Biden.
Joe Biden pulled us out of Afghanistan. Barack Obama pulled us out of Iraq. That's a fact.
He didn't.
Even
He did
then,
not pull
once
us out of
again,
Iraq. We still there.
even if that's the case, once again, that's a war he inherited, and it's a war he ended. And more to the point, he killed Osama bin Laden. He got him. That's what they like to say
Listen,
about my
listen,
boy.
listen.
That's part of his legacy. So
This the thing. This the thing.
That's
I'll tell
three.
you.
And then, well, I wasn't finished, but go ahead.
No, this. I'm not trying to interrupt. I'm saying this because it's supposed to be free before you. But listen, I'm not trying to cut at him as a man, and that's the thing I'm saying because I understand Obama is like Ronald Reagan. He's very, very popular. He's very popular because he probably, other than Ronald Reagan, has been one of the greatest political brands we've ever seen, where the man can do no wrong. Same thing with Ronald Reagan. It's just I'm just trying to tell you about what the facts are. But go ahead, Mark. Go ahead.
Well, I'm just combating some very key points well, actually, I agreed with you and B3 on the point that yes, we as a people, or I'll say Black Americans, did not advance too much socially or economically under his presidency. I can agree with you on that point, but I was just making some other points that while much didn't happen for us, he did do things for other people. Also, the Affordable Care Act. And you saw different forms of that later in the future with Medicaid and Medicare that stemmed from that. So you
Mm-hmm.
have to give him credit for that. And now, talking about Trump, Trump is trying to cut Medicare and Medicaid for tens of millions of Americans are going to go uninsured, and he's doing that to fund a tax cut for the wealthiest families in America. Him and his family will be included in that.
Mm-hmm.
So I have yet, and 10 on top of the fact, we are this July coming up, we're going to get our second quarter GDP report. If we see another reduction in it, that is one of the key indicators that we are either in a recession or headed towards a recession. So, and it will be directly because of his tariff policy. So, yeah, I don't know. We got to see what Trump #2 is going to do.
So
But I have for right now, I have a better memory of how Obama ended. Obama handed Trump a good economy for his first term. So,
That's a fact. That's a fact.
so like I said, we're still in the middle of Trump #2. Go ahead.
But you know the
Or we're
thing,
at the start. Go ahead.
just to kind of give you an idea what Mark is talking about. Obama did a job of the slow and steady approach over 8 years, and the economy was in really good shape. The thing was, Trump did something that a lot of people do. He took a lot of money and he heated up the economy. And whenever you heat up a good economy that's already good, you heat it up with. And when I say heat it up, I mean you do more government spending. It increases the GDP. It increases everything. That's why you're seeing right before COVID, we had record highs in job. We had record highs in growth because he heated up our already slow and steady economy. Because truth be told, a lot of people get on Rob Emanuel for some of the stuff he did, but Obama had a great chief of staff that did a great job executing his financial plan. I think the thing that worries a lot of people is that we don't necessarily hear Trump's economic plan in the same way we did Obama. But what I'm kind of going back to is this. I'm talking about something called hope. And the reason I say hope, and I'm going to go to free after this, I feel like there's a currency in our hope. There's a currency in our prayers. And I feel like Obama put his finger on it because I seen it because I was still in the projects back then. I seen when My President is Black came out, I seen hood dudes, grills in their mouth. I'm not talking about no precious cake, sweet cats. I'm talking about straight up gorillas, wild dudes, waving American flags, so excited about what the future may hold for them. And I'm telling you, I feel like Obama helped everybody but his own. I feel like everybody wants to turn into an internationalist. No one wants to be black. I guess it's not the thing to do. No one wants to be a black person that fights for black people and black people's rights. But go ahead, Free, my bad.
No, I think y'all looking at this presidency a little bit different than I look at it. I don't look at the president as somebody that's dealing with the Americans directly. I look at them as the head of the country. They set the rules for each state of the country, and you have your congressmen and your senators that deals with your state, which directly deals with you. Those are the ones that directly deals with you. The president don't directly deal with you. They just set out a rule, and they bring it to the Congress, and the Congress either pass it or they don't. And so it's up to your congressman to talk for you. It's up to your senators to talk for you. It's not up to the president to talk for you. We looking at the president. Oh, they supposed to speak for us. No, that's not their job. Their job is to control the country. It's your congressmen and your senators that deals with your state and your communities. The president, it's like having a job. You have the boss, then you have the manager, then you have the employees. It's the same way with the whole country. You have the people, then you have the congressmen and the senators, and then you have the president. That's the way it works. So when you want things done, that's why they always say it's been since the beginning of time. They always say you want things done, go talk to your congressman, go talk to your senator. They don't say go talk to the president. They say go talk to them because they are the ones that speak for you. So if you want things done in your community, you need to have the right congressmen and the right senators in your community. If you don't have the right ones in your community, then you're never going to get things done the way you want, what you want done in your community, because you don't have the right people in office. So it's not the president. The president is just the person that runs the country. It's the people that you deal with directly, which is your congressmen and your senators. I think we're just looking at it a little different because the president is going by what he hears the people the people bring to him. He's going by, okay, they complain about this, they complain about that. All right, let's see if we can get this to work. If that's how they do it.
You know, it's so interesting. I agree 100%. And salute to everybody. Shout out to my brother Sombrero in the building, man. AKA BBO. Shout out to my brother Prize. B3, y'all make sure y'all tap in with B3, the man winning money left and right. Shout out to him. Shout out to the great brother Marky Dan. Y'all go sub to Marky. Marky, hey, this is what he talked right here, so I ain't got no problem with it. So shout out to my brother Free. Hey Free, I'm ready. We back in the game, so we can go ahead and start the football live streams up. You let me know how you want to do them. Look, this is what I want to tell you. I agree 100% with Free to some degree. If you want local changes made, then it happens with your senators, with your representatives. That's where local change. It really happens with the board, the different boards, the board of education, the city board, city council. That's really where your local change happens. This is where I always say that the previous administrations, and I'm going to go back and say since Bush Sr. has let us down outside of Trump. And this is including Obama. This is definitely including Obama. Going to my brother Sombrero's question, they have let it. Foreign policy has been absolutely horrible for us for years. Foreign policy has been some of the worst shit we done had going on. Whether it's wars, whether it's trade, you name it, us giving folks shit for no reason, you name it, it's been horrible for us. And all of these guys, outside of Trump, in my personal opinion, my brother Marky Dan would disagree with me. Outside of Trump, in my personal opinion, be like, hey, all right, we gonna let y'all take advantage. We gonna let y'all nah, nigga. And I understand when y'all say something about tariffs, those type of things, but shit. We ain't gonna let you take
Hey,
advantage.
cussing, Doug. Cussing, brother.
Oh, my bad. You know, I get out of order. But we're not gonna let you take advantage. And the way we're gonna stop you is this: what we're charging you right here. Now we will reduce them when you want to come make a deal. But until we can make a deal, well, we may reduce slowly just to make sure things are in order. But at the same time, now you're gonna have to pay these tariffs. And the reason being is because y'all been taking advantage of us. And when I say us, I'm talking about the people. Just think about how I remember when Big Ma told me one time that everything. This is in the mid '90s, but not everything made in China. This so sorry, it's raggedy. That what she would tell me, and I'm a kid. So all I'm saying is I agree with y'all, especially for if you want local change. But I do think that world change and individual not taking advantage of this country, it comes from the president. And what we're seeing now is a Negro standing on business, respectful.
I'll say this.
When I say a Negro, let me just say my brother Trump. Brother
y'all hear
Trump.
me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
I hear
do.
you.
Y'all hear me? Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. What I was saying is, I respect your opinion on that, Dub, because you know one thing about here in the doghouse, we want to let everybody have their opinion. But I'll say this: I get what you guys are saying about local change. That does have its place. But the one thing I found out, especially when you're talking on the local level, a lot of things are so corrupt. Just here in Cleveland, there's a place I grew up because I actually grew up in Akron. There's a place I grew up. They got $54 million to build a new like a sports complex for the inner city, and they held that money for 20 years, misappropriated it through local government for over 20 years, and it
Yep,
took
that's what
someone to
happened.
sue them. It took someone to sue them to release the money to do what they were supposed to do. I think the thing I'm finding out more and more, America is not as corrupt as we thought. It's a lot of local politicians who are living like fat rats and taking advantage of the system. You got sheriffs that do that. They got sheriffs who drive around drunk and tell you, "Hey, I'm the sheriff. What you mean? I can't drive around drunk. What you mean I can't? What you mean I
That's
can't
a
buy
fact,
whores
though,
on the
Doug.
block?
That's a
No,
fact. I
no,
be
You
seeing those
what do you
no, no,
mean?"
videos.
no.
And
I'm laughing because I agree. And my thing,
I think,
that's why local
go
politics are so serious because, like you bringing out these different things, corruption. Of course, we're going to see corruption throughout the government, regardless. It's been that way for a
not
long
not
time.
not not in the way we see it locally. And when
Hold
I
on,
say the way we see it, look, go ahead.
but that's what I was going to say. That's why it's so important because that local corruption is much more different than that federal corruption is. And the reason I say that is because now we're literally taking away from the children. If we're supposed to be building these things, right? We're supposed to be upgrading the high schools. We got federal grants that's coming into the state or into the community to upgrade these things. Like you said, on hold for 20 years, misappropriated. Who's checking? And it's up to the citizens. That's why you got to go and pay attention to what's going on in your city. Hey, I I
You know
have
what I will say? I don't necessarily. Hold on, let me say this real quick. Then I'll bring you back on this. I think the thing that's so hard today is when you got people who are surviving or in survival mode. It's very difficult to say that. I'm gonna tell you something that people don't understand. For us to even be on this platform, internet wise, puts us in a whole different bracket to where we can actually have access to internet, clear internet, and be able to discuss these things because some people don't even have the time to do it. Because they're just in survival mode. I think one thing I learned from B3 is almost every facet of your life you're being watched, and I think you don't always understand what it takes to watch somebody else because you're so used to having the magnifying glass on you, almost like the magnifying glass when you put on the ant. I get what Free saying. I get what Dub's saying. I just think overall, I've seen Trump where people go to these dinners and play $1 million a plate, and next thing you know, their son, who was an absolute scumbag, stealing taxes and embezzling money from his own workers, which to me is scumbag behavior. Next thing you know, he's up for to get his sentence commuted. So my whole thing is this: I've never seen a president where you can say nice things to him and you can kind of touch his heart. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. We waited. Larry has waited over 50 years to get his sentence commuted. And you know who did it? Trump did. Trump did. You got people saying all the time, what Trump can't do, what he's doing, because he doing some underhanded stuff, but they all do that. Let's not even play games. Everybody does that. But what I will say that I've seen with Trump for his constituents, which is us, the people that voted for him. I didn't vote for him, but the people who voted for him, he has delivered on everything he said. There's no excuses. I feel like when you deal with people like Obama, Joe Biden, it's excuse after excuse after excuse. Because there is no issue between Obama and Trump. That's all manufactured. We've seen Trump and Obama smiling, eating gum together in the chapel. Those are not enemies. Just like when we watch unboxing, we seen Devin Haney throw the peace sign up at that piece of trash, Teal. That's his homeboy. We're not stupid. But what I'm saying is, if we look at Obama's presidency, he did nothing for us. And all he's done since he left office is try to chastise Black Americans as if he's above us. And I think bourgeois Negroes like that are awful for us. But I'll ask you guys this.
Well,
Do you
respect.
guys, would you say Obama was a failure or would you guys say he did a good job?
Well. Firstly, let me say he did a good job, and don't say he didn't do nothing for us. My son is still covered under MAP, and that's something that comes directly from Barack Obama. So don't speak for us, well, whatever that is, sir. But me personally, I like I said, I think overall it was successful. He had a successful presidency. He was a two-term president. He brought us out of a very bad recession. He ended one of the more costly and unpopular wars in our country's history. He took out one of our probably one of our greatest enemies in our country's history, and Osama bin Laden. And like I said, he left behind a healthcare bill and a healthcare package that evolved and helped a lot of different people. So I feel personally, and he handed off the next president a pretty good economy. So I feel overall he was a success.
Yeah, I agree with Marky Danner, everything he said. I mean, you gotta look at it because I hear what BVO saying. He's saying Trump did more with less time than Barack Obama had, and this and that. You got to remember, this is his second term. This not his first term. This is his second term. Second of all, you got to remember what he was given. He had to clean up everything he was given before he can make any progress. So if I get a house that's condemned and I get it all back up to where you can live in it again, and then I turn around and sell it to you, and you make it even better, but it was in good condition when I gave it to you. You make it even better and sell it. You did better than me. No, I gave you a decent house. I took a trash house that was condemned and made it livable. You took a livable house and made it better. So you gotta look at it at that aspect. You gotta remember George W. Bush had this country in shambles. Like people, we was a laughing stock around the world. This man couldn't talk in front of the people. He didn't know what he was doing. The stuff was just messed up all the way around. So he had to clean up that mess before he can make any progress on what he want to do. So you got to look at it at that aspect. If you giving him trash and then he fixed it up to where the country is back stable again, and then he hands it over to the next president, and the next president build on top of that, that's not taken away from what Barack Obama did. That should be added because now the country is in a better situation, and now we can build to even better. So you looking at what Barack Obama did in the 8 terms the 8 years that he had, and say, oh, he didn't do as much as Donald Trump has done. Well, he had to clean up a lot of mess first before he could do anything. So I would say he was successful.
I'm gonna just be honest. Barack Obama was a very successful president. Barack Obama did something that no other president has ever been able to do, whether we like it or not. He tore down a wall that a lot of people perceived and saw, especially young black men. A lot of them looked at it as, man, I could never get to that level. He tore that down. Regardless of what, and this is just my personal opinion, regardless of what he did in office, what he represents and his legacy, whether I agree or disagree with what that man did in office, whether I agree or disagree, it's historical, it's legendary, and hey, we got to give that brother the credit because it inspired a whole nother group of young men. Now, my question is, and I don't even want to go too far into politics like that. Just speaking on Barack, though, although I will agree that I didn't agree with a lot of the things that he did, but at the same time, I do think we have to consider a successful presidency simply off of the piece of being so motivational and showing young black men, young black women, you can do whatever you want to do, and he went and did it. So I think it was successful. I
Yeah.
still disagree with
Uh,
some of the stuff, though. I still disagree.
I'll say this to kind of switch it a little bit. B3, let me ask you this, and I'll go to Dub on this too. Do you guys feel that when you are in the corporate world, is it harder to get in management because you're constantly watched, or does it make it easier for you to get into management? What would you say?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's easier. It all depends on the organization. Every organization is kind of built differently, different structures. Some organizations they like to hire from within. Other organizations do a lot of external hiring. But when it comes to you as an individual entity, it really kind of just depends on the situation. I feel like specifically for me, I kind of always, my father always kind of gave me that understanding that people are watching you constantly. They're watching what you're doing, they're watching what you're wearing. They're watching how you look, how you interact with others, your mannerisms. So those type of things and how you display yourself in the workplace will more so decide whether you can get easy access to being managerial, being supervisors and things of that nature in corporate America. So I would say mannerisms and like how you carry yourself is probably the number one Because a lot of times with most of these jobs, some of the, you have education to, get in the door, but the mannerisms and how you carry yourself is kind of going to determine how people treat you, how people view you.
It's interesting to say that because I came in and my job is management in the college hire program, matter of fact. And so what I realized is the first thing I always and what I realized this early, my managers don't always like the way I manage. I need my team to like the way I manage because my team got to get the work done. You know what I'm saying? And so as long as the work getting done, who cares how I manage? Y'all numbers gonna look how y'all need them to look. And that's one thing that I realized as far as managing teams, uh, understanding how to come up in management. Those type, as long as your team does well, as long as you produce and you have the backing of it, it's hard for a motherfucker to talk bad about. Oh, excuse my language. It's hard for an individual to talk bad about you. It's hard
Oh,
because once when every and we had this is just me early in my career. I had a director who was like, okay, we ain't making our numbers. So me and all my peers, 8 o'clock in the morning, we got a meeting at 8 o'clock. We go. You got to call. You got to talk about all your orders, everything you got on the table, and if and are you going to meet these numbers? Are you going to meet this percentage? If you're not going to, why not? And how are we going to get? How are we going to fix this so we do it? And what I realized is as long as I got my team on my side, oh, I can. Y'all argue with y'all team. I'm not arguing with these people. Matter of fact, I'm trying to make their job as easy as possible. Get these orders done. Hey, if you on lunch for an hour and a half, you got a hour lunch. You on lunch for an hour and a half. I don't care. As long as the numbers are met, and the more that I got to know my team, and that's everywhere I went. That's how it kind of works. If I know my
yeah.
team, I know what motivates y'all. I'm motivating y'all to meet my numbers. So then it doesn't matter how I'm doing it. My director, my manager, they can't say nothing to me.
Yeah, I agree with B3. Um, it it really depends on if you are somebody that they promoted within. If you somebody that they promoted within, you familiar with everybody, so it's a little more comfortable. But when you're a new guy coming into a new company, it's a little bit different. All eyes are going to be on you to see how well you manage the individuals. So it all depends on how you become a manager. If you
Mm.
somebody that they hire as a manager, of course they're gonna watch everything you do because they want to see, okay, is he good for our organization. But if you're somebody that's already been there and worked from the ground up and you got promotion after promotion after promotion, it's not so many eyes on you because they already know what you're about. So it all depends on how you get in that management position.
Man, I know people who were promoted from the ground up, and they still won. Matter of fact, because they were promoted from the ground up, they were promoted within their peers,
Yo.
and they end up arguing with their peers because they was managing their peers. And I,
Yeah,
I've seen it happen, and so I always say, at the end of the day, you meet people where they at. As long as I can meet you where you at and understand what motivates you, then that's my
yeah,
whole job is to get the most out of you. And if I
yeah,
do that, then we're gonna meet our numbers. So I don't
yeah.
forget where you came from. Forget all of that. Well, I
And
ain't
see,
saying forget it because that's very important. That's very important.
And
Very.
see, well, I agree exactly what you said because that the way that I promote people to supervisors and managers and things like that is I give them a leadership position. I say, okay, you the lead officer for this site for this week, and I want to see how I don't say nothing to him. I said you leading this site for this week, and I see how he does. I see if they're going to be any he try to act like he above the law now because now he got some power behind him. If he's going to mistreat his officers and things like that, I look at small things like that. Once I see, okay, I see how he doing. Okay, yeah, he check off on that one. He check off for that one, and I don't get no complaints. I get compliments. I say, okay, let's make him a supervisor. Once we make him a supervisor, we see how he does with that, and then he does well with that. Then we make him a manager. But you get some individuals once they get that power, all of a sudden they better than everybody else.
Exactly.
So you got it. You got it. That's
Wow.
why the way I do it, the way I do it is because I want to see how you act when you get that little bit of power. If you jump
Terrible.
out of the water with that little bit of power, I know you can't handle a management role because just the little bit of power I gave you, all of a sudden you better than everybody else. You're not the right person for the job.
Free, let me ask you this because it's interesting
Leo.
you say what you just said. So, because I came in as a manager, now mind you, every department I've ever managed, I didn't know shit about it. Excuse my language. Dang. I didn't know nothing about it until I didn't know nothing about it until I got there. You know what I'm saying? I may know a little bits and pieces of it, but because from where I was coming from, but before I got there, I didn't know nothing. My whole thing was always, it ain't about the job; it's about the people. That's how I manage, right? I think that's how you get the best out of yours because I always tell my team when I first get it, y'all know the job way better than I know it. Matter
Yeah.
of fact, y'all been the one teaching me some things. Y'all been doing this job 40 years, and I got 5 years at this company. But I'm
No,
supposed to
no,
manage.
no.
But
No, you correct. No, I was about to say you correct because that's how I look at my officers, and I tell them the more contracts and the more money you make, the more money the company make. It's not about me. It's about trying to get the best, the most money for y'all. So the more money that our officers can bring in, the higher their pay can be because we base our pay off of how much money can we pull in from this contract. So if we getting, let's say we getting $50 an officer, well, we try to have a window where the company gets back somewhere between $15, $15 to $20. So if I can get a company to pay $50 an officer, that means I can give y'all somewhere around $35 an hour. But if I can only get a company that's only willing to pay me $30 an hour, I'm only able to give y'all $20 an hour. So I try to look at and I let them know the better the contract is, the better pay you get. So if you go out here and you do a good job, people gonna say, hey, y'all might want to get this
you know,
company because their officers is outstanding,
the
and
better
that gives
look,
us
the
a
better
better
we
contract.
do, look, the better you do, the better we do, and the better we do, the better you do. It
Yeah.
absolutely. I understand.
What you got on the
Mark,
marquee, Dan? What you got on the marquee?
What was the topic? I was
Oh,
tuned
he
out for a
said.
second.
He
I was
said.
doing something.
BBO was asking, do you feel that as a black man, it's hard to be in a management position? Do you have more eyes on you as a manager than other people?
Uh, well, in my life, and in my experience, no. And maybe that's because where I'm at, everybody, the majority looks like me. The majority of people are black or Puerto Rican, and I know most of them. I grew up with them, or my family knows them. So nah, I've never really, I think, had that type of pressure really. So I was just able to
y'all,
do my work. I could talk, whatever.
y'all all live in the
As
same
long as
town,
everything
grew
runs
up in the
smoothly
same
and
town.
we get our work done by a certain time, everything is good. I've never really had any other kind of experience.
Hold on, Marky. Y'all all grew up together. Y'all all know each other. Hey, just do your job and we good to go.
Exactly. It's none of that. Well, I've never had to experience no politics or been in that kind of or been in no situation like that. Let me say that.
Marky, let me ask you a question. Have you ever had to deal with any type of racism being where you from, being though like you said, you from a different, I don't want to say different country, you from a different island, and majority of the people are like you. Did you ever have to deal with any type of racism being where you from?
When you talk about racism, I think you mean something like systematic. No, because I was very privileged. My family, my mother was a lawyer, and my father, he owned his own security company, and he was in the Navy, and he was a police officer. Um, So no, and I went to private school. I went
No, you
to
went to private
UVA.
school.
Yeah,
So
that's
you
okay.
are uppity.
I still.
You a
What's
real
wrong with
live.
that?
You're a
Oh, here
real
we
live.
go.
So
A
what? You want
real
me go?
live.
Go to the? Yeah, you want me get stabbed up or you want me get shot? Like, I mean, what's wrong with you?
No, I don't want you to get
Hold
hurt.
up, Marky.
Hold
Hold
on.
up,
If you so
Marky.
you hold on.
Hold
Wait
up.
a minute. If you go to the
Hold up.
regular school, you getting stabbed and shot.
I mean, it happens a lot more in complex and central.
So, Marky, what
Yeah,
you
that
telling me is
the islands
you're
is
a
super
real live
dangerous, man.
Jamaican version of Carlton. You're a real live Jamaican version of Carlton.
That's
Hey,
crazy work.
it
Well,
is what it is.
I, I, I,
Ghetto
I'll
ass
say
people.
this. I'll say this. I think no matter what you say, for anybody, a lot of us didn't like living in the inner city. I know I didn't. I hated all those niggas. I hated all those niggas that free lunch. I hated all those niggas on the free bus. I hated the ride home with the niggas on the cheese bus. I hated them all. Because I was constantly reminded how poor we were. And when you go into a nice school and you see
Is
your
that really
friends
how you
with
felt?
I did
You know
because
what's
the
so
thing
crazy?
I
Because
wouldn't
you
even
know,
go
done
ahead.
hold on,
answering
hold
free
on. You know
question.
what's so crazy? It's crazy that I love them niggas. These were the niggas that was at the same level as me. These were my brothers. These are the
Yeah.
people.
I mean,
Because I'm growing up. Hold on. Just because,
go ahead.
and I didn't even have free lunch or anything like that. My mom had to pay for my lunch, but I knew niggas with free lunch. And man, that's crazy that you hated them niggas.
Well you
Hey,
didn't grow up in the projects. That's
Yeah, yeah, no,
the
I did.
thing about
I literally grew up in the project. Literally.
hey,
I mean,
I'm gonna tell you.
everybody
I'm gonna tell you
entitled to
this.
their own experience and how something felt to them.
I,
I'm gonna
Go ahead,
tell you
free.
this. I'm gonna
that's
tell you
interesting.
this. I'm gonna tell you
I'm
this.
not saying nothing wrong with it. I'm
I
not saying
wrote.
nothing
I
wrong
wrote.
with it. I'm just saying it's interesting. I'm not saying nothing
I,
wrong with it. I'm just saying it's interesting.
I rode a school bus. I rode a school bus, and I also got free lunch and reduced lunch. But I wasn't poor. It just we didn't make enough money where I can just uh get a ride to school every day. My father, he had to work for everything he got. My mother had to work for everything that they got.
I
We
walked to
wasn't sitting on
school.
money,
I
but
walked
we
to school.
wasn't we no no
so
I'm talking about
I get what y'all
But
saying.
free.
Let
I
me say
wasn't
this.
done answering.
Let me say this,
I,
Mark. Let me say this, Mark. You got to remember how young my parents were. My mother was 18, my father was 20. These were young kids trying to raise somebody and probably one of the worst projects in Akron. Um, so the thing that people don't understand is when you're
Hold on, you from
trying to
Akron, not
cultivate a
Cleveland?
good say it again.
You from Akron, not Cleveland?
No, I'm saying when I was growing up because my grandmother's from Cleveland. So when I'm saying is when you're growing up and you with your parents, because what happened with me, I was with my mom and then my grandma said, "Let me step in and get it." That's kind of what happened. My grandparents said,
Okay,
"Let me
okay.
step in and
Got
let's get it." So what I'm
this.
saying
This why we got to get
is,
an interview with you, BBO.
if somebody
yeah.
got some
So
background.
the thing the thing that hold on, we got, can y'all hear me? Yeah, we
Yeah, I
got
hear
some
you.
background a little bit, but
yeah, that's
the thing I'm trying to
B3.
convey to you. Okay. Okay, he muted. Okay. I think the thing I'm trying to convey that for me, what I experienced was, you experienced like I don't know what happened when I was around 7 or 8 years old. There was a song called "Get at Me, Dog," and I remember when DMX dropped. I just remember that so vividly as a kid. I seen my neighborhood turn very violent, and I seen dudes really just turn into like absolute animals. Cutting people. Everybody had razors. I remember that. I remember dudes was throwing up signs. I ain't talking about the peace sign. They was throwing up signs, all that. And the thing that was so crazy was it was just out of trying to be tough. And if you from the Midwest, there's a huge gang bang type of thing going on out here. Everybody wants to gang bang, and then there's the thing of just flat out bullying and making sure people's lives are hell. It wasn't like that for me because I was a big athletic guy, but I'm just saying I seen some dudes really go through it, in ways you couldn't imagine. I'm talking about where cats was like, I remember a dude was getting bullied so bad, he told dudes on the free bus, "Man, I should unalive myself." And you know how we laughed that nigga off the bus. And unfortunately, a couple years later, that young man tried to hurt himself. And I'm saying when you grow up in that environment where there's no emotion, it's very bad, man. I'm telling you, told you got a story about the guy with the colostomy bag. He got poked up real good. Dude's talking about I smell your poop bag. He had just got out of his grandma's car coming from the hospital, coming from Children's Hospital, and they said, "Man, I smell your bag." And I'm telling you, people don't understand that stuff turns you into an animal. When people won't leave you alone, when people won't give you a break. I didn't grow up in no after school special. We had dudes like, "Hey, keep doing your thing." No, where I was from, it was brothers was throwing up them signs, and on top of that, dudes was really, really trying to unalive each other. It wasn't no game. I'm talking about I seen it to where a dude, my neighbor, um, you know, unfortunately unalive some people and put them in pots. Look up Susan Court Bonasu. The man put people's body parts in pots. This ain't something I'm making up. When you're around that kind of violence, you hate it. You're scared. You don't know what to do, and no one can save you. The best place you can go is the church. And there's nothing worse than when you look forward to going to church, you could be out of your own neighborhood because it's that dangerous. I got a few good stories, but all I really seen was cats get their face cut. I seen cats get poked up. I seen cats get, somebody shot lasers at them down the street. I seen dudes get beat over. I seen a dude almost get beat half to death for $50. Broke his eye socket, broke his nose for $50. I seen dudes get laced with stuff and never be the same. And when you grow up around that, man, it desensitizes you, Dub, and it makes you say, man, I hate all these guys, because if you don't develop that hate, you don't want to be a part of it. I didn't grow up. See, I don't have that story. Oh, my big homie said, "Hey, man, go play football." Dudes was like, "You playing football? You not out here with us?" Nah, I'm not out here with y'all. I don't want to die. I mean, I've seen it. One of my good friends got put in a wheelchair, 15 years old. Him and somebody playing with a firearm. He get popped. The man never walked again. So when you see that kind of stuff, I'm not trying to glorify anything. I'm trying to tell you, it was so bad. That's why you see LeBron the way he is. It was even worse in LeBron's time than it was in my time. LeBron's time, they was skinning brothers alive. I'm telling you, it's no joke. A dude got skinned in Spring Hill. Somebody was so sick they skinned a man alive in Spring Hill, where LeBron is from. That's why LeBron is the way he is, because he's from such an effed up place. I can't explain it to y'all, man. But go ahead, my man. I don't want to be too long with it, man. I'm talking about super graphic violence, unadulterated violence. This ain't no girls going wild. This is real life action where it gets active, where you see dudes really get hurt. I seen a dude where a chick was mad at this dude and she poured bleach, salt, and hot water on him, blinded the dude, blinded him, and had no remorse. I don't know. I can't explain it to you, man. Y'all would think it was a movie, man.
Can I just
Go
can I
ahead,
just
Go
quickly
ahead.
answer? Yeah, no, I just quickly wanted to answer Free's question before you were so long-winded, BBO. But respect to your story. It was a great
Hey,
story.
brother, this is BBO
Well,
boxing, punk.
bastard. But to Free's question on if I experienced any racism, no. But my mother, when she came to this island from Grenada, she experienced a lot of it. When she was trying to go to school and become a lawyer, there were people who were actively trying to get in her way. She was denied certain scholarships and opportunities, despite the fact she was top of her class. She was I used to say summa cum laude, but still there were people actively trying to get in her way. But Judge Ross, who's now my sister's godfather, he went ahead and signed his own signature on the line to make her a clerk at the court, so she can get her start. Not only that, there were people that were actually trying to during when she was taking the bar exam, she actually writes about this in her book, which I'll leave in the link for anybody who wants to read it. Um, she actually talks about somebody actively sent what do you call it, the monitor over and said that she was cheating, or that she had some kind of like notes like taped to her hand or something like that. But it was just bullshit. But that's something they actively did. And then they have nicknames for people that come from the Leeward Islands, that come from other islands. They say use a alien, they say or use a dung island, B word. They it's just a lot of it's just not a nice story unless you really clicked in with certain people and certain families on the island. But she had to really struggle and make her own path. So I really honor my mother in that way. But I'll post a link to her book to anybody who wants to read it.
Yeah. No, I agree with a lot of what BBO say. I mean, the thing is, you pretty much describe any project in the United States because that stuff goes on
Right.
all over the United States in every single project. Like I came up seeing pretty much the same stuff that you've seen, and I came up in a time where it wasn't uncommon for you to see a person that has been analyzed the night before. Like literally walking to school, you see a person that
For
had been
sure.
analyzed the night before. Either they
They,
sitting in the car or
they've
they
been
laying
what?
on the sidewalk.
Damn.
Wait a minute. They've been
I
what?
when I
Analyzed.
no, I came up in the 80s,
What
and
you
if
mean
you know
analyzed?
about
Somebody,
if yeah if you know about DC in the 1980s,
Oh
DC
yeah.
was
It was
considered
the it was
it
the
was
it was the
considered
unalive capital.
Oh,
yeah
jeez.
oh,
yeah
It was the
unalive.
unalive
Unalive?
capital
le-
for like
yes
6-7 years
literally
straight.
I thought
yeah
he said analyzed.
for
Okay.
5 years straight. For 5 years straight, we was the unalive
Yeah.
capital, and it was literally a body a night. Literally, they was literally averaging a body a night, and it wasn't uncommon for you to see that. Like I didn't walk past multiple people that's been analyzed the day before or earlier that day. So
So y'all
it's
were
not
taking
something that
people out like that?
yeah. I
Man,
mean
AC was a double word.
no.
Oh yeah, they
You gotta
had
remember
13-year-old murderers.
Shout out to Chocolate City.
when I came up, I was born in '76. So when I was of age to realize what was going on, this was '85. I was 9 years old. I was 9 years old. I was able to see this stuff
Yeah.
and know what's going on
Was
because
heroin
that's when crack hit the scene and
there was
DC was
nobody
one of
else.
the
Crack.
was yeah that's when DC went wild. It's like I mean Rafer Evans was making
Let me ask you
$9
this real
million
quick,
a
Free.
week.
Was you around when they was freebasing or no?
I was around, but I didn't see none of that because
Hey,
I was
Free, were you
young.
around when they was freebasing?
Yeah, I was around.
Oh,
I
okay,
didn't
okay.
see none of it because I was young.
Because I
But
heard that's when DC changed when they started freebasing.
yeah, I mean, like I
Yeah.
said,
Okay, okay, okay.
I didn't
Yeah.
see none of that stuff.
Because
But
that's what happened in Cleveland the same. Yeah.
I just known from the things that happened. I knew what was going on because my mother and my grandmother and my great grandmother and my aunts they used to watch the news every single day. Like news was a regular station in our household. Like
Yeah.
we came on when I came home, my mother had to watch the 3 o'clock news or the 5 o'clock news. That was a regular programming station. It wasn't like nowadays you just turn on the news to see what the weather is going to be like or see what they're talking about. No, that was something that they watched on a regular basis. Whenever the 3 o'clock news or the 5 o'clock news came on, that news channel was on in our household because they wanted to know what was going on in our neighborhood because it was always something going on, and they wanted to know where we need to stay away from so we don't get caught up in nothing.
What's the name
So
of
you
that
from
guy? I'm trying to
Southeast,
find it.
Free?
Northwest.
Free, you from Northwest? Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, Northwest is bad, dude. Yeah, Northwest is bad. But I think, and like when I hear Dub talk about how he grew up and stuff, it's kind of cool because I wish it could have been like that. Because sometimes like Dub will say something, it's almost like watching Captain Planet back in the day. Like it's almost like perfect world scenario where a dude would be like, "Hey man, go play ball. You're not supposed to be here." I never heard a dude say that. I always heard dudes say, "Man, you trying to get down or not? We gonna make you get down." It should be dudes that'll make you be criminals with them. It was. BVO was only having so much fun like I did as a kid because I was being Dennis the Menace. I wanted to, put poop bags and set them on fire in front of people's houses and ring doorbells and
Yeah,
throw
you're a
water
sick
balloons up.
guy.
That's because I wanted to do that. Say it again.
Yeah, I say you're a sick guy.
I didn't hear what you said.
You're a sick guy.
So I was more or less trying to. I was more or less trying to have fun, like I seen on TV, like when I was watching Sandlock or when I was watching Hey Arnold. I wanted to kind of have fun. So, I think the worst thing I did was when me and my homeboy went on that dude's roof with them stocking caps. We took my grandma's pantyhose. I don't know if you guys remember them thick tan pantyhose. We washed them out real good, put them on the fan, and put them on our face. Huh?
I'm glad you explained that because that sounded real
We at
crazy.
BVO Boxing on the panel do not avow any of these statements. These are the statements and opinions
Anyway,
of the of the
we
of
put
the
I'm glad you I'm
of the
glad you
we
host.
put the
explained them though,
pantyhose
because
on
he
our
said
face.
that
Hey,
you got
Dub,
about grandmama pantyhose.
Jesus.
and we cut them, we washed them so we could put them on our face. And it was all because we were trying to be tough too, man. We were trying to be tough. We
What
were trying
the
to be
heck,
tough, man.
BVO?
Or when we would go door to door, act like we were selling lotion for the Red Cross. I mean, we did a lot of stuff like trying to like be bad but not too bad. And I can say this, man, I had a great childhood. I mean, it wasn't perfect, no. I had a good childhood, and a lot of people I know, man, didn't make it out of childhood. I'm sure Dub, I'm sure Freedom, we all got friends who didn't even get to live a real life. I'll never forget one of
Hey,
my
I
favorite
got a
people in
couple
the
of
world.
them.
My brother, God rest his soul, my man Laquan Smith, may God be pleased with him. He passed away at 20. I'll never forget reading his obituary, Dub, and it said he liked to play Xbox. I
Uh,
was like,
I
damn,
I
he was
had I
that
had a
young.
guy.
All he liked to do was play. Hold on, Free. He was that young. All he liked to do was play Xbox. I remember that like at 21, and I remember I was in his funeral crying. We were so young. Everybody made fun of me because I cried at his funeral, but I just was sad that my homeboy pretty much got buried in his senior prom tux. That was hard to see, man. That was hard to see, man. And I'm telling you, man, when you experience that kind of stuff, it make you want to get out here and see things different. I want one of the brothers to go grab me a white Nubian queen and start all over. I didn't do that, but I was able to meet somebody and do some fun stuff and enjoy my life, man. Because it was rough, man. But go ahead, Free. My bad. Go ahead, Free.
No, I was gonna say I had a couple of guys that I lost when we was in school. I had two guys that passed away that was 14 years old. They lost their life to the streets, and I had a guy that lost his life the day before no, the week before our graduation to the streets, and we was literally at our graduation picnic when all of us got the news, and it was no longer a
Yeah,
picnic anymore. We was sitting there all sad, crying, and everything because he was somebody that got along with everybody, but he was one of the dudes
yeah,
that hung out in the streets, and so he ended up losing his life to the streets. So I mean, I know a few guys. I know some of my cousins, friends that lost their lives in the streets before they even got a chance to graduate. Like I literally know probably about 15 to 20 people that lost their lives before they got a chance to graduate high school. Like it wasn't
you know,
like
the crazy
natural
part
cause of
about it.
death
You know
or
the
nothing
crazy
like
part
that.
about it, Free, is how many years just passed. The years just fly by, and the
Yeah,
guy I'm talking about, man, he almost been dead as long as he was alive, man.
yeah. I've been
It's crazy to think.
I didn't
It's
graduated
crazy to
what?
think that.
It's been it's been it's been 31 years since I graduated high school.
Yeah,
It's been 31 years since I
yeah.
graduated high school. So I mean my dad on my 31st year just passed May 5th. I graduated May 5th
Mm.
of 1994. And I mean it's been
Old
31 years.
man.
I mean when I was graduating out of high school, Marky Dan, you was a twinkle in your father's eye.
Exactly. You're an old bastard, respectfully.
But let me ask you this, Dub, and B3. We gotta get B3 in here. I don't know what B3 doing, man. He probably in his two way. But what you think about all this, Dub?
I mean, shit. Like you said, I grew up a little differently.
Yeah,
Yeah, you had violence, those type of things, but man, we from the country, so niggas fight. You know what I'm saying? That's
right.
really what you did coming up. You fight, man. It wasn't no shooting and It wasn't niggas just getting like the worst stuff that we really seen. You know what I'm saying? Nigga get slammed on his head, go into
Man.
convulsion, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't just seeing
Hey,
niggas out there
cousin.
popping. Okay, excuse me, man. But you ain't just seeing people out there shoot. And then that's the other thing. One of the reasons I moved back to the country is because once I had my son, I saw how individuals in Atlanta move. And I'm like, I don't want him around this. You know what I'm saying? I know in the country though, I done been around that, and hey, I mean it is what it is. You not really shooting. That ain't how think. You're not gonna hear body after body after body after body down here. That's not how we live. You know what I'm saying? Now, hey, some folk might be disorderly, sleep it off in jail and go on about their business. That's what you hear. You know what I'm saying? It ain't the same. It ain't the same type of life. And so that's why I said, let me get back to the country because I would prefer, man, we have community here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can let my son go out now and shout out to him, shout out to Lil Dub. The man is finally in Alabama, and I say that respectfully. Shout out to him. He is in Alabama. Dropped him off last night. Uh, man, I'm gonna miss him. I'm gonna miss him for the next month and a half. But I can let him go outside.
In the arms of the Crimson Tide.
But I can let him go outside with his friends. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
they gonna go shoot basketball. Then they gonna come over here, jump on the trampoline. Then they gonna go across and look like. And then I know all their parents. I know everybody who live around here. So it's a community. I don't have to worry about certain things. When we were in Atlanta, man, I gotta if I ain't got my eye on him, I'm worried. Down here, I ain't gotta have, and that's how I grew up. You didn't have to have your eye on me. Why? Because you knew everybody in the neighborhood, and that's who you dealing with. So everybody know everybody, and if something happened, we're gonna get together and figure out what the hell going on. Where everybody at? That's what we're gonna do. And so that's why I appreciate the country life more every day. As far as being raised, at some point in time you'll hit the city, but as far as being raised the right way, in my personal opinion, uh, I
Yeah.
appreciate the country life.
And what I would say, Dub, a lot of us were sent to the country to kind of escape the inner city. Um, when we went to go see our cousins, and I remember my mom sent me to New Orleans on a bus with $10. I don't know what that mamma jamma thought was gonna do with $10 all the way to New Orleans, but that's what she did.
Wow.
and
Hold on, BBO, your mic out of order. But get what? I
I
bet you used them. I
had
bet you used them $10 wisely.
fun,
You used them
man,
wisely.
because
Maybe she
like
thought
you
you would rob
said,
somebody.
it
Maybe
just
she thought you would
wasn't
put your maybe she thought you put your
same. It wasn't
grandma's pantyhose on again and
always
rob
BBO,
somebody.
hold on real quick. BBO, your mic out of order. Your
about,
mic out of order.
you know,
BBO, your mic is out of
taking
order.
lives.
Yeah, out of order.
It was
We
about
can't hear
throwing
you.
hands, man. Like I'm a so shout out to the country, man,
We can't hear nothing you saying,
because a
brother.
lot
Your
of us were
mic
able
is
to
out of
escape
order.
Well, we
and
can
get our
hear him, but
minds
he can't
together and
hear us.
Hold on, can y'all hear? Oh, okay, so you can hear me
Hey,
now.
he going
back
in
to
and
the
out.
city
He
and have
going
some
in and
fun.
out.
That
But
man got
what you got
on.
for me, V3, before we get out of here, man? I know you got something for me. I know you're on your two-way, but what you got for me, man?
I know you ain't gonna say nothing about
Are you talking
BBO.
BBO,
about
can
me?
you even hear? Can you even hear us, bro?
Oh, okay. I can hear y'all. Y'all couldn't hear me?
Yeah, we could hear you
Yeah,
a
we can
little
hear
bit,
you.
but
Were you just ignoring us?
you couldn't hear Dub
No,
and
I couldn't hear y'all.
Marky.
Oh, okay. My bad. Y'all was saying something when I said something?
Yeah,
Yeah,
your phone was out of order the entire time.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You screwing the show up, man.
Oh, my bad. Am I clear now?
yeah,
Finally.
you clear.
I mean, you can hear us,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
That man was
Oh,
Yeah,
having a
what
whole conversation by himself.
well, I'll say this, man. I'll say this, man. Shout out to my country cousins for letting me
uh,
be able to come down there and find out that the stuff I was dealing with in Cleveland was all
And your mic out of order again. Where's
Well,
security?
let me
yes.
get my final
Let
words.
B3. Hold on, Marcus. Let B3 get in here. Let B3 get in here.
Go
Go ahead.
ahead, B3Leo.
Appreciate you, Dub, man. Salute to the brothers and the family. Over here just working, trying to multitask. We building up the business. What was BVO's original question?
Shit, nobody don't know no more. You know, talk so
Man,
damn
yeah,
long.
cursing,
Hey, that
cursing,
you brothers cussing like
out
crazy,
of
man.
order.
Yeah.
We not cursing.
You out of order.
And you know what's so crazy? They cuss on ESPN now. I be here and they
They do, man. It's crazy.
so what are we doing,
I
man?
take that back. I did hear Pat McAfee cussing at 10 o'clock in the morning. I
Wow.
did see that.
And doing it, and he using way worse words than what I'm using.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Forgive me, man.
Respectfully,
I'm a
but
Cosby kid. But go ahead.
yeah. Well, let me just give my last word, BVO, if we're getting out of
Hold
here.
on, man. I'm about to elbow you
Uh,
in the neck, bro. Let B3 go.
oh, my bad. I thought B3 was done. Go ahead, Nick. My bad. My bad. Go ahead.
Oh
Go ahead.
Lord, we out of order. We out of order.
Yeah.
Go ahead, B3.
Marky was working hard today. Uh,
Oh yeah, he's in the field.
I was speaking facts today. You go straight to hell.
My brother's out there in the field. It probably was 85 today.
Bunch of racists.
My brother
The
probably
sun,
rode. Remember
BBO,
he
the
saw
sun that
BBO
fried his
riding his donkey
brain.
through the city.
It was
Right,
all in
right.
97, man. It was all in 97, BBO. All in 97.
Y'all
Deep
need to
free.
watch D3 and BVO for CTE. That's all I know. And B3,
Oh,
you're
here
a
we go.
racist. Go ahead.
That man got a heat stroke. His son that fried his brain.
Oh, God.
And the
All you
sun give
smell
me
is
what I need to
plantains.
speak facts. Go ahead, B3.
He said
Stop.
All
Speak
you
plantain.
over
smell is
these racists,
plantains and
B3.
sweat.
Don't let them speak. Go ahead, B3.
What was the original question, BVO? Can you ask it one more time?
Oh, I was asking, did Marky sell his soul for a glass of water out there in the field?
The question was, is BVO an orange fascist? That's the question. Is he an orange
Well,
racist fascist?
Security.
what I would say to Marky Dan is, you my brother and I love you. And you know what? Picking sugarcane all day can't be easy. I'm sure your hands are raw from breaking them stocks, man. So I don't want to get you hyped up. I understand you working hard, man. I love you, man. So just know that I love you, man. We ain't gonna argue, man. But I don't know what
I know
B3's
you ain't
doing.
working hard at all, big ass nigga.
I don't know
Go
if he
ahead.
over there smoking crack, but what you got for me, B3?
Why? Because he's a black man? What's that supposed to mean?
I'm
See,
black.
that
I'm
you
not in
know
a
what? It's
smoking
unfortunate.
crack.
It's
B3
unfortunate though.
type of dude like to roll a primo.
Nah. See, it's unfortunate. BVO. He grew up around a whole bunch of guys. He had to separate himself from guys that was indulging in smoking crack pipes, and that's his life experiences. So we just got to keep BVO in prayer, make sure that none of that trauma of his
Hold on.
childhood.
Have you ever been to church, nigga? Have a nigga like you ever been to church?
Hey, cursing.
Whoa, did you call me the hard ER?
Oh, you trying to talk like BBL? Oh, okay. I see what you're doing.
Cursing.
I see what you're
Yeah,
doing.
I've
I
been.
didn't cuss.
Yeah, you did. That's not proper. That's not Cosby Show.
And BVO,
Okay,
yes,
you right.
I've
You
been
right.
to church. You know, I mean, all different types of churches. One's the one that you go to with all blacks.
What?
And y'all pastor drive a 2025 Cadillac. Yeah, I've been all.
You a cornball. I'm Catholic, fool.
I don't even know where this show that went to.
Well,
We started
Oh,
this the
off talking
problem.
about the president, then we started
oh,
talking
so
about
that's why
What
you hold
always
so much.
happen? What always happens?
BBO, is
We
that why
get a
you hold
couple
so much
devil bunnies
anger?
on here, and they go crazy.
uh,
On
it
that
ends
note,
in
we're gonna skip
racism.
B3. We're gonna skip B3, and we're gonna send Marky back to the fields. But give us your final thoughts, Dub, and then go with Free.
Well, let me get my final thoughts. Golly, I
Hey,
was waiting.
No,
Dub,
back
you
to the
going
fields,
live,
boy.
Dub? You going live tonight,
Wow.
Dub?
Hey man, free Dub right side. We live tonight. We gonna be talking
You're a
everything.
racist, Dub.
Hold on, what are you doing? My God, Marky, Marky, are you that desperate?
You thought he wasn't? You thought he wasn't?
Oh, we ain't gonna do it like that. We ain't gonna do it like
You thought he wasn't?
that.
That's
Man,
the
we
thing.
I
He
thought
thought
you
he
BVO
was
coming
now.
in
Marky,
on his
Hey,
Obama
y'all,
plan in
I
the
thought you was
side,
a
man.
y'all out of order, man. Y'all out of order. Y'all
man,
out
you
of
know,
order.
B3 type of
And,
dude eat a whole lot of
and
donuts.
we gonna have out of order promotions back tonight. We will be live at 11:30. We're gonna be talking boxing. Man, you know what? I'm so happy that I'm just able to go live. My son, I had my opportunity to drop him off with his mom for the summer. Hey, I'm gonna be talking crazier than a motherfucker. Excuse my language. Crazier than. All right, there we go.
Hey,
And don't forget, my
we're
brother
gonna do
Dub
the.
was almost at 1,000. 782 is the number right now. We almost at 1,000. So let's get right side up to 1,000, man. He your favorite Georgia boy, man, from Middle Georgia, man. You know, he picked cotton all his life, man. Show my brother some love, man.
racist.
Damn, I picked cotton
Yeah.
all my life. Hey,
Well,
you know what's crazy though,
eh,
BBL? I didn't pick cotton, but get what I did do. This is a
What's
fact.
that?
I bailed. Hey,
See,
I
same
hey,
bailed.
we
Hey,
thing.
no, that
we
ain't the
gonna we
same
gonna
thing.
we're
Yeah,
gonna go
but
live, Dub. We're gonna go live Wednesday and do this NFL. We're gonna start.
With the
What
NFC
division you want to
East,
start with? What
the
division you want to
NFC,
start with?
the NFC. We start with me.
No, we starting
yeah,
with
Oh,
we
you
starting
know
with
with
the
where
the
we
AFC
start.
champions
North, man.
division. The
You
AFC
know where
North.
we.
champions division.
Hold on,
We
man.
starting
Y'all
with
out
the
of
AFC
order.
North.
Y'all out of order.
Speaking facts, the champions division.
Oh my! No, hold on, man. You out of
We're
order
not
because
talking
you're
about soccer,
talking.
Marky. Hold up.
No, we talking about football, American football. You hold up,
Man, we gonna have to go ahead and kneecap Marky one day, man. They're going to hit him in the
man.
golf
I'm gonna
clubs
hit
to
you
the
in the
knees.
chin.
We gonna throw that nigga in the
You said you want to start with the NFC East.
Hey, we gotta start with the NFCs. That's the only way to do things the right way, especially with
All right,
me
we're
and you
gonna.
being the ones
I thought
talking
we
about
start
it.
with the AFC North, man.
We're
All
gonna do
right,
y'all.
we'll
We're
start.
gonna do y'all 15th. I don't know if
Yeah,
they're
we're gonna.
15 divisions, but y'all last.
Yeah, we're gonna start with the NFC Beast on Wednesday. So we're gonna go through all of the teams in the NFC Beast and see how many games each team's gonna come out with as winners
Man,
and losses.
and let me know, Free. We're doing it by we're gonna show their record, and then we're gonna go game by game for each four teams. Correct?
Correct, correct. We're gonna go game. We're gonna go game by game. We're gonna start with one team and go through their entire schedule. How many games we think? I mean, what game they're gonna win? What games they're gonna lose? And then we're gonna move to the next team, and then and all until we get all four teams completed.
All right, and real quick, since there are eight divisions, we gonna have to. I'm gonna just be honest. If we want to get through this thing before the season starts, we might have to double up a little bit.
Oh no, we're gonna double it up. I mean, we just starting Wednesday, but we're gonna double up. We're gonna probably do Wednesday, and then we probably do another one Friday
Okay.
since BBO don't go live Friday. We probably do one
No,
early
no, no.
Friday.
Me and Marky Friday. We rocking Friday. I got.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Oh, well,
yeah. That's right. Y'all do rock Friday.
but we'll
Exactly.
figure it out. We'll figure it out,
Political
and
discourse.
we'll make sure we put
Quick
it
quick
together.
question for the people. What's the start of the NFL season? Do y'all know the date?
September
I
14th,
thought it
isn't
was
it?
September 13th.
Nice.
What? No.
Okay, cool.
What you say? What's the day for what?
Just the start
September
of the season.
14th. I remember.
NFL
Marky, hold on.
season start
It starts September 4th.
September 4th. Okay, bet.
Yeah,
Good.
Except
Oh,
that's
it's
the
the
first
fourth.
game.
Oh,
Yeah, September 4th is
Eagles
the Eagles
Cowboys.
versus Dallas.
Yeah.
Eagles versus Dallas, September 4th.
And we
Okay.
Destruction.
kick it. Oh, hey,
yeah, the
we
Eagles gonna
gonna
crush Dallas.
and we gonna fuck the excuse. All right, my bad. Y'all got
Wow, you
no.
gotta pay $10. That's $10 right there.
We're talking
$10
about
to who?
Wednesday.
If it was me, I had to pay $10.
Who you
Respectfully.
gotta pay? Who you be paying paying
You
$10.
ain't have to pay $10, man. You ain't got.
Hey,
You ain't have to pay
all
$10.
right, all right.
Hold on. Were you actually paying $10?
Exactly. Yeah, for cursing.
I
I
see
stood by a
both
code of honor.
all four of our
But no, that's
teams
something.
play divisional game the first week because we got to play against the Giants the
Unlike
first week.
you,
Y'all got to
Dub
play
right
against each other.
side.
I'm not
Y'all play
paying
against
ten
each other.
But
dollars.
I, but I,
I'm
I'll
not
say this.
paying
I'll say this
nothing.
before we go,
But
man. What I'll say
let
is
me.
this, man. We gonna get better. We are gonna get better with the cussing because we got different people watching this audience, and we want to try to build a family friendly environment at 8 o'clock. This is still prime time, so we're gonna do better. Dub right side, he's from the fields, man. So we forgive him.
I just tell the
Marky
truth.
is a good brother. Marky's a good brother. He's from the fields too, but we're gonna
Can
do
I
better.
say
As you
something
know,
quick, BBL, before we go?
hold on, let me say this before you go. Me and Free are really trying to cultivate a really good environment for everybody to come watch the show because we're a family friendly show, man. We not This is not good time. This is the Huxtables, man. We not good times. If you want to watch the good times projects, we got Dub right side, we got Marky Dan. You can hang out in the hood all day over here. This is the Huxtables, man. We drink cran apple juice and cran grape juice. That's what we do over here.
Well, salute to STN BVO boxing. I'm gonna be coming out with more videos this week about. I'm gonna be coming out with my first episode of Fascist Watch. It's gonna be covering Stephen Miller and some of his comments and decisions recently. So look out for that.
Hey, Marky,
Continue.
Marky,
What?
real quick, just a quick
What?
question. When you gonna cover the downfall of Joe Biden? When you gonna cover that?
Oh, what? His? What you want me to cover? His cancer?
No. What the book that Jake Tapper put out?
Well, I haven't read it. I mean, what you do you want me to cover like his dementia and his going down? I've thought that Joe
Well,
Biden had dementia.
they're
I could
calling it
cover
the
that.
biggest scandal. They're calling it the biggest scandal since Watergate, if not bigger than Watergate.
I think that's BS. Respectfully, I thought Joe Biden had dementia and was going down even before the
No,
2020
I
election,
don't want to hear
and
you.
people still. Hold on, hold on. Let me finish, Dub.
No.
Let me finish,
But
Dub.
because
Like, wait, don't ask me a
hold
question
on,
and then let
we
me not
shutting
talk.
down.
You
We
ain't
shutting.
got to go into the whole story.
But like,
Hold
golly, I
on,
was
hold on.
trying to.
I'm just
I was
asking.
in the middle of my
No,
finish. Then you asked me a
but
question.
this was my question. My question is when are you gonna cover it? This ain't the time to cover it. That's
Oh,
all I'm
okay, my
asking.
bad. No, I wasn't. I wasn't.
I want to run.
I I don't plan to cover it in the next
Okay.
couple of weeks. But sure, I could put it on my agenda.
No,
But no, I
well,
plan to cover recent news, what's going on in the week to week news, because Washington and national politics is like a never ending train, and it's twenty
Hey,
four
y'all,
seven.
y'all
This
forgive
is
my
a sick Negro.
Anyway,
y'all.
anyways,
My brother
anyway,
Marky,
I was trying to
he's the
finish. Go
type
ahead,
that
go
you
ahead,
give him an inch, he'll take a mile, man.
man.
Forgive
Go
our
ahead,
brother
go ahead,
Marky.
man. Y'all piss me off.
We got to put Flores back in the
No
picture.
did it. I say no did it. I say no did it. No did it.
all I'm saying, Marky, I'm not asking you to cover it now. Put it on the agenda. This Friday we will be
Well, not only
covering it.
that, you asked me about
Hold on,
Watergate, and
wait
you
a
tried
minute.
to
Wait,
compare it to that.
Marky,
You out of order.
calm down, brother. We got all the time in the world on Friday. I will definitely be available. My son, like I just told you, he dropped out. It's a guaranteed show on Friday. I apologize because I had some other things going on, but it's a guaranteed show Friday. So we had all the time to cover all of these items right there. Go ahead. I
Most
apologize for
definitely.
being on.
Let
No,
me just
most
jump in and
definitely.
say this really quick.
Let me just
Marky,
say
hold on, let me
salute
give
to
you a shout out real quick. Marky,
that.
phenomenal show the other day, your first live. I really
Loved it.
enjoyed it.
I loved it.
I'm definitely gonna be tapping in to you for my politics. So I just need you to be on point and continue to just speak the truth.
He
Absolutely.
he was wrong with a lot of that stuff. He was very wrong.
Well, unfortunately, you
Yeah,
weren't there to combat
and
it.
shout out to Mark because
I
one thing
believe
about
every
it
piece of it.
for a young man to be able to be articulate and speak about the politics, man. It's a cool thing to see, man. So keep doing your thing, man. One day at a time. We always
Thank you.
ride. No
And
excuses. Just straight to the
and
top.
and to be
Exactly.
so.
And let me just
Hold on,
say,
real quick, Marky. Marky,
please
let me
look
say
out
this.
for all these racists on this panel, such as my brother Dub Right Side,
I got you.
BVO
Hold on.
Boxing.
It's crazy.
You gotta
Hold
look
on,
out for them.
Marky. It's crazy you say that because I want to say, man, shout out to Marky Dan for being passionate about politics, right, wrong, and indifferent, making sure he's staying abreast of what's going on. And the man sent me messages. I'm like, bro, I'm at work, man. Damn, I'm working right now. You sending me shit in the middle of the day, anyways. But I appreciate it because I can see the passion in it, and you're doing a hell of a job, my brother. Even though some type of way I'm a racist, I didn't even know that, but that's fine.
And
Uh,
shout out to Donald Trump for friend Larry. On that note, we gone. Peace.